Republican congressional candidate accused of body slamming a reporter.
Body slamming.
Body slam.
Body slam.
Body slammed him and broke his glasses.
That is not a body slam. This is a body slam.
Well, what we're about to see. Oh, no. Oh, look at that. That grip, that goose on him. She's out.
Drives him down just with ease. Throttled him. And right into the
Well, it looks like EC3 of...
All right, serious stuff today. It's now a routine. Terror strikes, people cry, I write something, then I drink. But something else happened after the Manchester attack that struck me. In Brussels, thousands marched, but not against terror, but Donald Trump's arrival to that city. The president wasn't welcome, they said, as long as he pushed his war agenda. I guess they forget that he wasn't the one who butchered those little girls.
If you stop this madness, this arms race, think about what a world we could live in. We could end poverty.
He must smell great. Now, if they want to live with terror while bravely marching against a 7-year-old law-abiding politician, then let them fester in defeat in moral squalor. You suck, and you deserve to suck. But not us. As an experiment, pretend that Islamic terror didn't result from a toxic belief, but came from outer space. What would Earth do about a roving band of bloodthirsty aliens butchering innocent people? I think we'd unify and kill them. However, there would likely be people from Brussels defending these murderous cretins, saying, who are we to judge? And besides, Trump sucks. But for me, Trump has it right in plain language.
There can be no coexistence with this violence. There can be no tolerating it, no accepting it, no excusing it, and no ignoring it. This is a battle between barbaric criminals who seek to obliterate human life and decent people. Drive them out of your communities. Drive them out of your holy land. And drive them out of this earth.
So essentially, he just shoved cowardly platitudes off to the side, much like this.
The president was hardly feeling bashful throwing his weight around, pushing past the prime minister of Montenegro, elbowing his way to the front of the pack.
President Trump muscling his way to the front during a tour of NATO headquarters. Why did he shove a prime minister?
Shoving the leader of Montenegro out of the way so the president could stand first is not assuring other allies.
The sort of pushy American rudeness, I mean, that is quite a moment.
Oh my God, the leader of Montenegro! I've never even heard of that place before. Is it? I'm sure it's a good place. But yeah, pushy American rudeness. Well, maybe the world needs a push right now, at least in the right direction, toward a new response to terror, one that's trained in body and mind, one that's unafraid of being labeled, meaning if they call you Islamophobic, you say, so what? We need a new understanding of surveillance, that security and freedom don't fight each other. They enhance each other, much like Laverne and Shirley. We also need to keep calling them losers.
I will call them from now on losers, because that's what they are. They're losers. Murdered by evil losers in life. These killers and extremists, and yes, losers, they are losers.
I think we found his safe word. Good for him. But most important, we must overcome our resistance to moral action. What undermines our safety is the fear of looking bigoted. Remember the line, if you see something, say something? The left adds, do that, and you're racist. This creates a moral paralysis. If you say something and you're wrong, the consequences are huge and you will be branded. So you say nothing due to Islamophobia, phobia. So how did this start? Well, for decades, we've been told that the root of all present injustice is our past faults. This relativism cripples us. to believe you cannot address evil because you may not be any better than them. It's everywhere. Schools, media, entertainment. It makes us willing victims, subservient to evil. It's what creates the march in Brussels against a Western leader when just days before Islamic radicals killed a bunch of little girls. It's the cowardice that says, if we tell these extremists we're to blame, maybe they will like us. No, they will just kill you first, because even they will find you annoying.
Thank you. Thank you. Stop. Don't continue.
All right. Let's welcome tonight's guests. He's so tough he sweats actual bullets. Former U.S. Marines bomb technician, Staff Sergeant Joey Jones. He's so charming, snakes follow him home. Actor, comedian, and host of American Ninja Warrior, Matt Eisman. She's as unique as her limbs are weak. Co-host of Fox News specialist, Kat Timpf. And a hula hoop is his pinky ring, former bodyguard, and my massive sidekick, Tyrus. All right. Joey, serious topic here, but what do you think we're doing? What should we be doing now? Should we be doing anything different? I would assume so.
Well, we have to follow our human intelligence to where it leads us to. I mean, you know, all your points about Islamophobia, phobia, and the idea that if you see something, say something, but don't say everything, and don't say it about that guy because of how he looks. There's nothing that will trump human intelligence right now. There's nothing that will trump the ability to follow a lead. We can't solve, you know, the crimes in Chicago by ridding the world of guns. We're not going to solve what happened over the week by ridding the world of the things you can use to make explosives.
Right.
Like sand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So making an explosive, making a bomb, we're not going to get rid of bombs, we're not going to get rid of bad people, but we can out them, and we can find them and put them in jail before they have a chance to do this.
Yeah, what's wrong with the intelligence now?
I think the biggest problem we have right now with following this intelligence is they don't know where that threshold is. You know, I don't know if it's someone curiously Googled how to make a bomb too many times, or if it's I traveled to Syria and Libya and I kind of hate freedom, so maybe you should come look at me.
Right.
But they're not identifying unfortunately the red line in the sand.
Yeah.
So that when people cross over it, they follow through.
Yeah, if they looked at my Google searches, they wouldn't think I was a terrorist, but they would think there's something really wrong with me. Because sometimes they pop up, I look at them and I go, what was I doing last night that I was so interested in finding out what a naked panda would look like? I don't know, Matt. Matt, they were...
I'm just picturing Tyrus now when you mentioned naked panda. Angry naked panda.
Why is that? Because he was black and white?
See, I said something wrong already. I want to get into that.
Guards.
Better you than me.
So, Matt, they had like 5 opportunities. The security services had 5 opportunities to stop this bomber. And I keep thinking that I don't want to impugn these people, but I always feel like there's something of fear of like you risking your reputation if you actually make the wrong decision.
Yeah, I think it's just what you said, where we're finding out these situations with the Sarnat brothers where they said that they'd been observed as well, but people are petrified of making these accusations and being wrong. And this is the hardest balance, I think, to strike, because we believe in freedom of speech and freedom of thought, but then when we find out that the thoughts were translated into actions, it's too late. So I don't know that there's an easy solution, but what I believe is that I love the idea of open hand and love all, but I think fear is what motivates people, fear of retaliation. And so I don't mind that Trump is out there wielding the stick, because I think somebody has to do it in the fight against terror.
It's true. I mean, like Kat, you know, Ariana Grande came out with a statement, and the statement was very careful. It talked about love and support, but at a certain point, love is not all you need.
No,
you need
fear.
rage.
You need fear. It's better to be feared than loved, because love comes and go, but deep-seated fears last forever, sometimes destroying love in the process.
Yeah.
I couldn't be a bigger fan of Trump calling ISIS losers. I think it's the greatest thing of all time, because if you think about someone you really hate, it wouldn't be as close as how ISIS hates us, but someone you really, really hate and you want to destroy them, you know it happens. And they called you a monster, you're going to think, dope, it's working.
Yes.
If you say they're a loser, you're going to go, what? I'm not a, am I a loser? Am I a loser?
Yes.
That's the worst thing that can happen to you.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Tyrus, if this act doesn't cause people to actually, are you still mad at Matt?
Yeah. He's going to call me a loser now, and it's going to haunt me.
Yes, Greg.
If this was particularly, I mean, everything ISIS does is horrible.
Right.
But this, I mean, they specifically targeted teenage young girls for this heinous act. If that doesn't move the needle and get people that were always kind of like, well, we should talk about tolerance. I mean, shouldn't this be the last straw?
You would think that it would be. You would think at that point it would be game on. There's no more left and right. There's straight middle, and everyone's talking the same story. But it's funny to me. They will go the extra step to go at, and Donald Trump does some weird things, okay? But like, let's take a look, for example, the body slam issue.
Yeah.
It was a scuffle.
Yeah.
A scuffle is not good. It was a brush by. Excuse me. I do it at the airport all the time. Move. It wasn't a shove.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
But they won't go all in and be like, you know what, we need to draw these, we need to start vetting everyone that comes out of Syria, everyone comes out of Libya. Sorry, my bad. If we lock you up and we're wrong, we'll let you go. But we'd rather be wrong than right. We can't say, they won't say that. They won't go that far with that, but if it's something that
you know what they do? What you're saying is they go for the easy outrage because it doesn't cost anything and there's no risk.
Yeah.
But if you're wrong on this one, you lose your reputation, you could lose your job, you're in the paper. There are people that were more angry at a British journalist for a tweet, you know, than like.
It was a very bad tweet.
It was a very.
It was a bad tweet. Yeah, no, he didn't kill people, but and the fact that what bothers me is that he thought it was funny.
Oh wait, we're talking about two different tweets.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about a female journalist who said that was needed was a final solution. Katie Hopkins. Yeah, she used the wrong. And then she changed it to a better solution or something. She changed it, but it was like, everybody got so outraged, and I go, maybe she made a mistake, maybe she didn't make a mistake, but that's easy outrage. Why not get outraged at this other, the actual act that killed people might be a start?
Yeah, and own it.
Yeah.
You know, don't apologize at the end.
We need to kill more of them and then post pictures of killing more of them because it's very effective for them.
Yes.
I mean, at the end of the day, I would much rather see their bodies mangled on television than our 17-year-old daughters.
Yeah.
And the fact we can post a picture in the New York Times, was it New York Times, I believe? We'll put pictures of detonators out there. Put pictures of them dead out there. That's what I want to see. My curiosity would be pinged.
You know,
That's
I know we have to go, but I find it very strange that we don't see those pictures. In the Gulf War, we saw so much footage of charred cars along the road. But it makes me think that whatever we're doing is so horrifying. You know what I mean? That we must have them in a place, and we must be just killing them because I don't know why we're not seeing this. There are apparently thousands of them are dead, but we don't have the evidence, do we?
Well, I think we should go down to Guantanamo Bay and take pictures, just to have open the doors and let us see what you're doing.
Yeah.
If it's really that bad, then we'll know it, but then we'll be happy that it's that bad.
Yes. All right. Coming up, a fresh perspective on the terror attack from across the pond. We talked to the UK's Nigel Farage about what happened in Manchester. Stay right there. Investigators believe the Manchester bomber spent 3 weeks in Libya before returning home to his native UK just days before the concert. Meantime, the French Interior Minister says he traveled to Syria in the past. My next guest says there's no way he should have been allowed back in the United Kingdom, but yet he was. It's not a mirage, it's Nigel Farage, the man who brought us Brexit. He's now a Fox News contributor. Good to see you, Nigel.
Good evening.
You know, my first question is, the UK is I guess the 5th richest nation in the world, but they often use the defense of having limited resources. Even if you have limited resources, shouldn't that go to the task of this defense of the realm? Wouldn't that be the most important?
No. Good Lord, no. You're missing the point. We're spending all our money on foreign aid and giving money to the European Union. I mean, it's mad, isn't it? You know, here we are now. We're spending more money giving cash to Brussels. We may have voted Brexit. We haven't left. We're still giving cash to Brussels. We're giving more money in foreign aid, much of it to corrupt regimes. And we spend more doing that than we do actually looking after our policing and our anti-terrorism services. And I think there's going to have to be, post-Manchester, a big change of attitude.
I asked a buddy of mine who lives in London. He used to be in a rock band in the 80s, and I won't say which one. When I found out that I was having him on the show, he said, ask him this. Napoleon said the English are a nation of shopkeepers. Is Theresa May more interested in balancing her shopping basket than defending British citizens? I guess it's, again, the same kind of question about allocating resources.
Yeah, look, we, as I said, we waste money on a whole load of foreign adventures. A whole stack of our money is tied up in bureaucracy. But you know something? If you're in trouble in life, personally, whatever it is, that's the moment you borrow money.
Right.
And there is no sum of money that we can spend stopping atrocities like Manchester that would be considered to me to be a waste of money. And let me tell you that this week, in many ways, innocence has died. Firstly, they went after teenage girls. Secondly, we started this week being told by the intelligence services there were 3,000 suspected terrorists living in our country. We end this week being told there are 23,000. Just think about that.
It's amazing, the time bombs. And this guy was allowed back in. How in God's name does that happen? And we're learning that there were chances to stop this guy.
Five separate occasions when individuals contacted the anti-terrorism unit to say they were really worried about this man Abedi. He'd said terrible things. He'd praised suicide bombing. 5 separate warnings. And he goes off to Syria. And we only find this out through French intelligence, which is strange, really, because most of our information these days gets leaked from American intelligence. But in this case, it came from the French. He went to Syria and was allowed back into the country. And I've said for years, and I'll say it again, if you leave these shores and go off to fight for ISIS, you should be refused entry back into the country and your passport should be burnt.
I've got to go, Nigel. I just want to thank you for doing this, and congratulations on joining Fox News.
Thank you very much indeed.
Coming
Have
up,
a good evening, guys.
Why did Trump body slam a reporter in Montana? He didn't. He's just getting blamed for it.
This is a Fox News update. I'm Robert Gray. President Trump is back in Washington tonight after a 9-day, 5-stop international tour where he met a number of heads of state, NATO leaders, and the Pope. He's now facing several challenges back at home, including finding a new director for the FBI and the Russia probe. The White House is reportedly considering a new, more aggressive communication strategy. It would include more travel and campaign-style rallies. Police say they still don't know if a deadly attack on a Portland, Oregon train is a hate crime. 2 men were stabbed, apparently trying to stop anti-Muslim rants against 2 women. Both men died, and the suspect is in custody. Tributes pouring in for rock legend Greg Allman. The Southern rock pioneer died today from cancer. Allman had a tumultuous personal life, struggling with drug addiction, tragic deaths, and divorce. Allman was 69 years old.
While the body slam lingers, the media points a finger. Greg Gianforte won the special election for the Republican seat in the U.S. House of Representatives in Montana, the state named after the Miley Cyrus character. His victory came just one day after he got into an altercation with Ben Jacobs, a reporter from The Guardian.
We'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you
Okay,
have
speak
right
with
now.
Shane, please.
But you don't.
Sick and tired of you guys. The last guy that came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the Guardian?
Yes, and you just broke my glasses.
The last guy did the same damn thing.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Probably not the best way to handle this situation, but who did the media blame it on?
Guy assaults
a reporter, which I guess shouldn't be too surprising in an age of Trump, where he calls the press enemy of the people. These reckless words have consequences.
It's part of this pattern that started during the campaign of, Donald Trump really encouraging his supporters to target the media, to boo the media.
We cannot separate this, though, from the general tone that's taking place, particularly from inside the White House.
You don't think it's because a guy who's in office now has said very horrible things about reporters and has said that the reporters are the enemy of the American people?
No,
I think
Don,
that has nothing to do with anything.
There is just such anger and hostility and rage that is directed at journalists, and that flows from Donald Trump. I mean, it's a straight line.
It's so true. Now, look, I know there aren't pictures of the incident, but I can tell you this. Donald Trump wasn't there. He was here getting body shamed by the Pope.
What do you give him to eat? Is it
I'm not sure what potizia is. I'm imagining it's pizza with pot on it. I'm probably wrong, so send your letters to somebody else. But when a politician gets handsy with a reporter, of course you're going to blame Trump. It's as predictable as my sprint to the bathroom after eating a taco and a hot cup of coffee. Speaking of predictable, the Montana Democrats issued a statement after their guy lost, saying Gianforte shouldn't be sworn in while his assault case is still pending. Are the Democrats trying to delegitimize this election too? I could make a nice quilt out of this pattern. All right, first I'm going to go to the Ninja Warrior guy before I get to the body slam expert. Matt, the guy still won. Is this going to encourage other politicians to body slam reporters?
I don't know why this feels like almost the amount of victim blaming, that we're blaming Trump's words on the actions of another adult. Look, the guy has anger issues along with a nice sense of fashion. He really dressed up
for the apology.
For his acceptance speech. I think he was wearing his hunting jacket. I thought... I think, look, people should take accountability for their actions, and we should have the ability to speak our words. The thing I felt bad about was listening to the reporter speak. He sounded like the Jerky Boys there. I broke my glasses here. I wasn't feeling very sympathetic towards him. Assault is still a crime.
This is why I got to get LASIK, because this is going to happen to me, and if I always think that I'm going to lose my.
It's probably a lot sooner than you think. From somebody you know.
Why are you applauding? You were applauding a direct threat.
No, I'm
just threatened me, and the audience is going like, this audience likes violence.
Yeah.
This is a pro-violence audience.
Speculating, Greg. I'm just
well, all right,
up in the air.
Mr. Body Slam. We saw you do a body slam earlier, and then you did push-ups on his neck.
Yeah, I'm always about fitness. But to go back to the whole thing, first of all, Trump, he's dissed the media, and the media has dissed him back pretty good. I actually think they might be winning right now as far as the name calling. But the man was running. He's an adult. He's a hunter, and when you listen to, and I've been in a few fights, and I've had a few assault gimmicks. It's like I think he's going to pay like $250, and it's not even got to show up.
Gimmicks?
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Assault
I
gimmicks.
don't talk about it, but whatever. But
it's like a magic trick.
That's a legal term.
But the point is, if during the thing when he was asking him questions about health care, and he was clearly in, I'm not justifying what he did, but he was close enough to get in a scuffle. Body slam, there would have been a law's pause. You would have heard a whack. You wouldn't hear, you broke my glasses. And if you're getting assaulted, you don't have time to say what is being done to you. Oh my God, he's picking me up. He just slammed me on the ground. That doesn't happen.
I would definitely say
But the point is, he didn't say, this is for Trump. Whack. Then you can say.
Yeah. All right.
This is for bothering me. You're bothering me. I'm a hunter. I don't want to talk about health care.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Joey, everybody has lost their temper. It just so happens you have the perfect villain and the perfect victim. But I don't condone it. I think it's wrong to body slam reporters. I want that on record, by the way.
Well, I got a couple of things here. One, if you want to know why a guy with no legs needs to stretch his knee out, it's because you got it all backwards right now. Wow. This may truly be because of Trump, but if it is because of Trump, it's because there's so much angst and just PO'dness right now from seeing the media go after Trump over every little thing throughout this entire election. And not to say that he hasn't brought it on himself, but this What he's done is revealed the bias of the media and made it shamelessly obvious. So if a congressman there goes, "You're from The Guardian, right?" Because probably he's already been hounded 5 times over splitting words and crossing hairs. So it may be because of Trump, but it's because even now people running for office are oh, I can express my angst for how I've been treated.
Yeah, maybe I see your point, and I guess he won, Kat.
He sure did.
Now he won because a lot of people probably already cast their votes before this happened, but it certainly didn't hurt him.
No, it didn't. And I want to also say I do not condone violence. Very concerning. But what's also concerning is that he did this to a reporter in front of other reporters. I don't use violence to solve my problems anymore, but when I was 5, I did, okay?
Yeah.
When someone was really annoying me, my brother was really annoying to me, I would hit him, absolutely, but you don't do it when your mom's watching. You wait till she's not watching and then claim he hit himself to frame you.
I beg to differ, Kat, because sometimes you have to make an example out of somebody's ass. Not saying what he did was okay, but if I was going to beat somebody up from a bunch of people bothering me, I would do it right in front of here so everyone would watch, say you, me slapping around so everyone in the world can see what I'm doing to make an example. So maybe
What
the next
do you
time
do when you're
somebody
not here?
calls me a panda, they won't. I wrestle.
He's running for office, I think. That was a compelling speech.
Yes. I'm scared right now. You know what I think? I blame the Democrats for this victory. They ran a folk singer. This guy was a folk singer against a guy who body slams journalists. Hasn't anyone ever seen Animal House?
Yes.
Am I cynical, though?
Remember they broke the guitar?
But the reporter also feels like, I mean, to a certain extent, people like to goad people into getting a reaction and go, like, I won now because I'm part of the story.
Yeah, also, you put a microphone
I'm using the disclaimer, too, not saying...
Yeah, but if someone breaks your glasses, you can't see.
When has reporters ever been cool? And every movie you've ever seen is, the reporter's here. Everybody hates reporters.
No, you know what's amazing? And I got to go on this last note. Reporters in movies are really good looking. In real life, no. They look like this. Actually, I'm like, in human terms, I'm like a 6. In reporter terms, I'm a 10. Thank you. Still to come. You'll never guess what Tom Cruise said this week on Australian TV. Or maybe you will. I can never predict your behavior anymore. But first, white people, take note. Making a burrito is cultural appropriation. That and other ridiculous real-life crap next. Mexican? More like Mexicant. A burrito shop in Portland has been forced to close after its white owners were accused of cultural appropriation, i.e. stealing their ideas for food from another country. So like the very burritos they were making, they folded. Callie Wilgus and Liz Connolly say that during a trip to Mexico, they fell in love with the local tortillas. That's perverse. So they started their own joint back home. But after their story appeared in a local paper, you remember those, the internet mob accused them of exploiting the Mexican tortilla makers. And now locals have created an online list of more than 70 white-owned restaurants in the Portland area, accusing them of cultural theft. It includes names of white owners, the cuisine they serve, and lists competing restaurants owned by people of color, encouraging customers to try those instead. Explained the list's authors, quote, "It's about profit, ownership, and wealth in a white supremacist culture. These white-owned businesses hamper the ability for POC, people of color, to run successful businesses of their own." Here's me making a burrito. I have problems. Tyrus.
Oh, yes, food. Of course it went to me.
All right. Why is that? Wait.
Okay, first of all.
You can't internalize everything.
You said Tyrus, not Cat.
Try that
First
out.
of all, this is beyond, there's just so many words I can use that are inappropriate for this. There used to be commercials when the Italian guy would travel all over Italy looking for herbs and spices to bring back to make the best pizza.
Yeah.
Who owns Taco Bell?
Yeah.
I mean, this is, you hate to see it because for a long time, if me and some brothers had opened up a pizza station and some Italians wrote all this stuff about us, they would be wrong. Well, in this case, whoever's writing this, if it's a minority group or whatever, they're wrong. They're wrong as hell, and they should be ashamed of themselves. They have a right to make burritos. They have a right to make whatever they want to make. It's the American way, and your color has nothing to do with it. And if their business is successful, it's because their food's good. It's not saying you get extra.
Kat, I believe that there's a direct correlation between those who create lists and those who take no risks in life. Like, they don't open the businesses. They just wait till you open a business, and then they complain. I don't think these people have contributed anything to their culture or their community other than being annoying.
Yeah, and you know, if there's a burrito involved, it's usually not that serious. Right? It's a burrito. What I don't like about these two people who opened this business that they had to shut it down, they were spying on the tortilla makers to try to figure out how they made it. And that just seems like a strange way to spend a vacation. They were on vacation and they were spying on tortilla makers? Go have a margarita like a normal person.
Matt, do you think this is wrong?
My problem with this is what they're essentially saying now is you have to flip this.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Mexican people can only open tortilla restaurants. If they try to open something and make pizza, now they would be doing the same cultural theft that they're being accused of.
The issue is that they're the oppressed culture, and the white people are the ones that have never had a problem, is what they say.
Yeah, it's the same poetic truth that isn't.
Well, wouldn't it be? I mean, isn't this to take this culture and to try to this reminds me of Isaac Newton saying, like, if I see farther, it's because I stood on the shoulders of giants. So you take this culture, and to me, it's paying respect to it.
I
and
absolutely.
again, it comes down to business, right?
And then more people, the more restaurants there are with this food, the more people are going to be interested in this kind of food, and everybody needs to calm down. It's a burrito, people. Come on, calm down.
Joey, I got to get to Joey.
I take issue with this whole thing, though.
Yeah.
If you pile 3 pounds of food with 18 ingredients that's the big as your plate, that's as American as it gets.
Yeah,
There's nothing
true.
cultural about that. That's us, right?
Exactly. I wish I could enjoy a burrito, but unfortunately.
I don't give a damn what color you are. If the food's good, I'll come back.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we'll end there. Coming up, Tom Cruise is dead. Set on making Top Gun 2. I'm so excited. Seriously, he confirmed it. It's happening. We'll discuss, plus the worst sequels of all time next.
When I was deploying to Afghanistan in 2008, I was very proud to be going and serving my country, especially in such a unique role. And I just celebrated my grandmother's 90th birthday in Florida, and my father took me to the airport, and he hugged me and he kissed me, and he told me that he wanted me to come home safe, and he told me how proud he was of me. And then I walked up to the security line, and I turned around just to glance at him, just to give him a wave goodbye, not even expecting him to still be there. And my dad was standing there saluting me. The man who had created an amazing childhood for me, who had gone to the Naval Academy and come from nothing. And this is a man who was there for me, encouraged me, my hero, standing there saluting me.
Share your pride on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. #ProudAmerican.